So Matt Orfalea, who, as we know,
Orf.
And this is the guy who, when I saw his videos not too long ago, but a couple years ago, when I was getting into the Bernie thing, he had that, in case you didn't know, and no one's told you, they hold the Democrats in contempt. They hold the Republicans in contempt.
That's a good
that particular one, and he starts off there, and the music goes from The Matrix. It's one of his best freaking videos, and I just got addicted to Matt Orf, and he made these great videos. Well, earlier this year, he made another emotional, tear-jerking Bernie Sanders video, and he got hired by the campaign, and stuff had happened. They had researched his past, and they found an old video he made when he was 18, 19 years old about Martin Luther King, and he was kind of dubbing in some words. It was kind of to be funny, but to also show back then that you can take these speeches, you can twist them. Right. You know, it was a whole big thing. He got fired from the campaign right when he got hired, but he has resurfaced. He's taken the lumps. He went on a lot of shows to explain himself. It really sucked because he had to explain to himself. A lot of people were saying, you got fired by the Bernie Sanders campaign. He had to come out there and explain what he did. And I know Bernie was just being cautious and whatnot, but he made a Tulsi Gabbard video, and we got to play it for you because it's pretty fucking awesome. Here's Matt Orfalea, a.k.a. Orf.
Fellow service members, veterans, know that your selflessness, your dedication, and your commitment will never be forgotten.
Hillary Clinton called Tulsi Gabbard, quote, the favorite of the Russians.
She's the favorite of the Russians. She's also a Russian asset.
Our troops and veterans' willingness to sacrifice everything cannot be taken lightly. It must be honored.
She's the favorite of the Russians.
She uses this language that feels straight out of kind of the Kremlin.
Our government should be of the people, by the people, and for the people.
A weird Kremlin-y view that she has of the world.
Freedom is not free.
I just think that she could be a useful idiot to the Russians.
Yeah. We must stand united against those in both parties who never tire of war.
It gives the Russians exactly what they want.
To build that brighter future with peace.
She's endorsed by, by sort of the Russians. David Duke.
She's never renounced the Russian support. There have been about 20 Russian bot websites that have supported her since she's announced her run for the presidency.
Tulsi Gabbard, we've seen Russia propaganda prop her up.
Tulsi Gabbard's my girl. I'm voting for her.
The way she talks about regime change wars is exactly the same way that Russia talks about them.
I will end these regime change wars and instead invest actually into serving the needs of the American people.
Thank you.
There is no question that Tulsi Gabbard is a puppet for the Russian government.
I was a Marine in Vietnam, and I agree with Tulsi Gabbard. These regime change wars are just, they're just wrong.
For Russia, what she says is perfect for what they want Americans to hear.
That we're all connected as Americans, united by the founding principles enshrined in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights.
So whether or not Tulsi Gabbard is aware of this, whether or not she's even completely, has complete knowledge of what's happening, the Russians are propping her up.
My name's Chris from Mississippi. I believe Tulsi will do all she can to heal our divides here at home.
And she wants to work on us first and help this country and help everyone unite together.
Supporting Tulsi Gabbard primarily for her selfless dedication to the country.
What Hillary Clinton is trying to say is the Russians are at their dirty work.
I'm a veteran, and I see Tulsi as honorable, trustworthy.
I'm a Marine veteran. I served in Iraq. I agree with Tulsi.
As a veteran myself, she will not treat my brothers and sisters as equipment, numbers on a board.
This is personal to me because I served in Iraq, where I served in a medical unit, where every single day I saw the terribly high human cost of war.
Oh, look, a useful idiot.
The Kremlin may be focused on Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard.
I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I want Tulsi for president to end these atrocious wars.
Okay. So, Pasta, tell me, how does that make you?
Tears. I mean, guys, a friend of ours bought RussianAssetNetwork.com.
Really?
Yes, a good friend of ours bought Russian ass and
That's hilarious.
assetnetwork.com.
I want to be a part of that network.
Yes, I know. The young lady who bought it is a brilliant genius.
Ran.
And that's what she says. Join Ran. Johnny even said it too. We said it was genius. But really, to tell you the truth, the way my blood boils when I see Joy Reid talk the way she does. It's disgusting that they're getting away with it. Bakari Sellers, disgusting. I don't wish ill on anybody, but if anything should happen to them, I wouldn't even bat an eye. It's disgusting what they're doing to Tulsi. I mean, it is disgusting. This whole Russian narrative is, I mean, and when are people going to wake up? This is McCarthyism at its best. This is the only play the Democrats have. And if you can't see that the deep state is controlling your media, then you better open your eyes, because that's what this is all about. This isn't about calling out Tulsi Gabbard. This is about control, making you fearful of what they're going to do so you join their side and they maintain that control. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to take it away.
This is about continuing the war machine. That's what this is about here. They don't care. They see, like that guy said, I like that she doesn't see us as equipment. They see soldiers. They see combat, the military soldiers that actually go there to risk their lives for for rich oligarchs to make a lot of money. This is how they see them as, like cargo equipment, nothing,
Pawns.
meaningless. Yeah. And the fact is that she went, a lot of people want to say, well, you can't be a regime change, pro-peace candidate if you went to war. And I disagree with that.
That's ridiculous.
I disagree with that because a lot of veterans go and have gone until recently into war thinking that they were serving their country, that they were doing something good. And that's what we were told our whole lives. That's what we've been educated on as people in the United States. And then they found out that's not the case. The first people to find that out were, of course, Vietnam. The people that went to war in Vietnam, they were one of the first to realize, holy crap, like, this is awful. This is not what we should be doing. And then thereafter. And this is why we're talking about Kennedy and stuff, because Kennedy was one of the people that stood against that machine. And of course, we know what happened to him. And so look at what they're doing to Tulsi Gabbard, who knows the cost of war, and she talks about it all the time. She doesn't just say that and pulls it out of nothing. Like, she has seen her friends, what she calls brothers and sisters die. And so when you look at this, and Matt did a great job of the parallel, right? The cuts, because when you edit a video, it just fell right perfectly in there when it was like, she's a Russian asset. All she wants to do is, and then it's Tulsi talking about peace, talking about ending the wars, talking about all these things. And the juxtaposition of that is amazing because it doesn't make any sense. And all they have is Russian asset. She's a Russian asset. It's clear she's a Russian asset, but they don't give you reasons as to why. Yeah. They don't have any proof. No. There is no, it's ridiculous is that video exposes, how ridiculous it is to accuse her.
And think about this. During this show, America has dropped bombs on poor people of color, of indigenous people. Right now, as we were doing the show, and as we were doing the show, another serviceman took his own life every 22 minutes. So just harp on that, think on that. And I this is where, fam kind of has to get me down sometimes when people say, okay, we take all these domestic issues at heart and we have to get these things fixed. No, we have to fix this too. We're going around and committing bloody murder, and the elites are profiting off of all of this. So it's one of those areas we really need the concert. And Tulsi Gabbard has been the only one. I mean, I think Bernie Sanders has done a really great job. He's, like I said, that one video we talked about, the Orf video, it talks about him going after Congress, saying, who are you worried about? Why do we have to spend this money on the defense budget? But, the nuance that Tulsi Gabbard has brought to this race when it comes to foreign policy is so important. I hope everybody watches this show, shares this show, all these other shows that talk about foreign policy. I know right now there's not a lot of people on because they're over with Jimmy Dore watching Max Blumenthal in the Gray Zone, but you have to learn this stuff. You have to understand this stuff. Hey, the majority of our budget goes to this shit. All your taxpayer dollar goes to this. So we got to wake up and be wise to it and fight the machine.